Hello, Kasadja! Welcome to Salakot Online Broadcasting Network, where every story matters, every voice is heard, every update counts. From the news and community stories and inspire features, we bring to accurate, timely, and engaging content that keeps you connected to what matters most. Stay informed, stay connected, and stay ahead. Salakot Online Broadcasting Network, the voice of the community beyond boundaries. Like, comment, share, follow us today, and never miss an important update. Good evening, I'm Apolinario, 30 Dignati si Valencia, and this is Philippine Headlines. In Luzon, the 38 families displaced by fire on Congressional Avenue relocated to Quezon City Transition Housing. The 38 families affected by the fire beneath the bridge along Congressional Avenue in Barangay Bahay Toro have been provided temporary shelter after being transferred to the Payatas Transition Housing Facility of the Quezon City government. The temporary housing is managed by the Housing Community Development and Resettlement Department, where the families will stay while waiting to be relocated to their permanent homes. The affected residents may stay in the transition housing free of charge. However, they will be responsible for paying their own electricity and water consumption. The Quezon City local government assured the families of its continued support as it helps those who lost their homes in the fire. In Visayas, the 4-year-old dies in house fire. 7-year-old relative injured. A 4-year-old child died while a 7-year-old relative was injured in the house fire that broke out in Purok Lubi in Sitio Kaulong in Barangay Campo 4 in the Talisay City in Cebu at around 4 p.m. on Saturday. The 4-year-old suffered severe burns to the face and body. Due to the extent of the injuries, the child did not survive. Meanwhile, the 7-year-old sustained burns to the left hand. According to reports, firefighters were immediately dispatched after the fire was reported at around 4 p.m. An investigation by the Talisay City Fire Office found that the two children were inside the second-floor bedroom of the burning house when the fire started. The authorities said that the 7-year-old was playing on a cell phone while the 4-year-old was asleep. As the flames rapidly spread, the 7-year-old, overcome with fear, escaped by jumping out of a second-floor window. The 4-year-old, however, was left inside the bedroom. The children's mother rushed upstairs in an attempt to rescue her child, but the bedroom door was locked. She was only able to open it after informing the responding firefighters. Firefighters quickly broke a window to gain access and rescue the child. When they found the 4-year-old, the child had already sustained severe burns. The victims was immediately rushed to the hospital but succumbed to their injuries a few hours later. Based on the initial investigation by the Bureau of Fire Protection, the fire may have been caused by an overheated electric fan, which is believed to have ignited the blaze and allowed it to spread rapidly. Yung bata. In Mindanao, the man found dead after being swept away by a flash flood in the city of Davao. A man who was reported missing after being swept away by the strong flood waters in Tugbok District, Davao City on the night of Friday, that was found dead by authorities. The victim was identified as Rolando Moncada Jose, 54 years old, a married construction worker from Purok Rambutan in Barangay Talandang in Tugbok District, Davao City. According to police, the victim's body was discovered at around 9:50 a.m. along a creek in Purok 5 in Sitio Luman in Barangay New Valencia within the same district. The location was approximately 3 kilometers downstream from where he was believed to have been swept away. Based on the assessment of the scene of the crime, operatives or SOCO, the victim likely drowned after being carried away by the powerful flood waters. The injuries found on his body were believed to have been caused by impact with the concrete sections of the creek as he was swept along. The victim's family declined an autopsy, believing the incident was purely accidental and that there was no foul play involved. In the other news, are you a business owner, the MSME, aspiring entrepreneur, job seeker, or someone planning to start a business? This is for you. Join the 16th Takurong Business Week. Don't miss the free business seminars, competitions, and the Takurong Community Marketplace designed to help you grow and succeed in your business. There will also be a post-graduation job fair for job seekers, a pickleball tournament, and nightly entertainment for everyone to enjoy. And let's work together to grow businesses and create more livelihood opportunities in the city of Tacorong. And our business update, GCash looms as Philippine Stock Exchange Index Review Wildcard. The Philippine Stock Exchanges or PSE February 2027 Index Review could largely hinge on whether the board relaxes key eligibility rules for the planned listing of GCash operator Mint, according to analysts at COL Financial. Speaking at the briefing, COL Chief Equity Strategies April Lintan said the February review will draw more attention than the August rebalancing, as policy decisions could reshape the Philippine Stock Exchange Index. The Philippine Stock Exchange currently requires companies to be listed for at least 6 months before they are included in the Philippine Stock Exchange Index. Because GCash is expected to list in October, it would miss the February review unless the Philippine Stock Exchange grants an exemption. COL research analyst Paulo Miguel Manansala said firms' projections assume various scenarios and largely unchanged share prices until the Philippine Stock Exchange finalizes the review data as year-end. Under the first scenario, where the Philippine Stock Exchange keeps its existing rules, Synergy Grid and Development Philippines Incorporated or SGP could enter the Philippine Stock Exchange Index while DigiPlus Interactive Corporation could exit. If the Philippine Stock Exchange lowers the public float requirements, Aboitiz Power Corporation and SGP could qualify for inclusion, replacing DigiPlus and Semirara Mining and Power Corporation, Manansala said. Another scenario assumes the Philippine Stock Exchange allows GCash into the index despite not meeting the 6-month listing rule. Manansala said GCash could display GT Capital Holdings Incorporated or Century Pacific Food Incorporated from the benchmark index. Manansala outlined a third scenario where the Philippine Stock Exchange lowers the public float threshold and adopts the MTAR-based liquidity measure. Under this case, AP and SGP could join the Philippine Stock Exchange Index, replacing China Banking Corporation and DigiPlus. The Philippine Stock Exchange replaced its liquidity criterion with MTAR and adopted new eligibility rules, but has yet to announce changes to public float requirements or new listing exemptions. In Luzon, the truck carrying Cuatro Cantos gin involved in road crash in the municipality of San Fernando. A truck loaded with cases of Cuatro Cantos gin was involved in a road crash along the Maharlika Highway in Barangay Bonifacio in San Fernando, Camarines Sur on Monday morning. The truck was traveling from Cabuyao in Laguna and was headed to Ligao City in Albay, where it was scheduled to deliver its cargo of alcoholic beverages. According to reports, the truck allegedly lost its brakes. The driver tried to avoid the vehicles in front, causing the truck to overturn and crash into the fence of a nearby house. Following the accident, many residents rushed to the scene and were seen carrying bottles of the spilled liquor. As netizens joked, they had the drinks but no snacks to go with them. Uyawa, uy. In Visayas, 77-year-old man dies after swarm of bees attacks him in Hindang, Leyte. A 77-year-old man lost his life after being attacked by a swarm of large bees in the mountainous area of Barangay Maasin in Hindang, Leyte on Monday. According to the police investigation, the victim, identified only by the alias Nor, went to the mountains with a companion known as Tope to catch wild pigeons. While they were hiking, they were suddenly attacked by a swarm of large bees. In panic, the two ran in different directions to escape. Tope managed to return home but suffered multiple bee stings, body pain, and a fever. When he realized that the Nor that not returned, Tope went back to the mountain to search for him. There, he met a farmer who had already discovered the victim's lifeless body. Police are continuing their investigation into the incident, and the victim's remains will undergo a post-mortem examination to determine the exact cause of death. Meanwhile, the victim's family believes there was no foul play and that his death was caused by the numerous bee stings he sustained. In Mindanao, the teacher punched by two students in Davao de Oro. A teacher was punched by two male students, both minors, inside a school in Maco, Davao de Oro on Monday. The incident, which took place at the school's covered court, was captured on video showing the two students confronting their teacher. According to police, the teacher went to the police station to report the incident. He said he had reprimanded a grade 10 student for wearing an earring, which is prohibited under the school's policy. The student became angry and attempted to punch the teacher but was initially restrained by his classmates. Moments later, the student's brother approached and suddenly attacked the teacher, joining in the assault. The teacher sustained physical injuries as the result of the incident. Following the altercation, the school's guidance office coordinated with the Municipal Social Welfare and Development or MSWD office to take the appropriate action regarding the two minors. In the other news, Sulong Takurong 2026 is officially open. The 16th Takurong Business Week formally opened July 28 at the Takurong Cultural and Sports Center, bringing together MSMEs, entrepreneurs, job seekers, youth innovators, and partners from both the public and private sectors. With the theme, Navigating the Shift, Building Resilient and Future-Ready MSMEs. This year's celebration serves as a strong reminder that entrepreneurship is not only about starting a business, it is about creating opportunities, empowering families, and strengthening the local economy. A key highlight of the opening program was the message of Mr. Eddie De Assis, Acting Provincial Director of DTI Sultan Kudarat, who emphasizes that entrepreneurship is a practical and sustainable income-generating option for every Filipino. He encouraged aspiring entrepreneurs and MSMEs to explore business as a pathway toward financial independence, self-reliance, and long-term economic growth. As Sulong Takurong 2026 begins, may this week inspire more Takurong nons to dream bigger, innovate boldly, and transform opportunities into sustainable livelihoods. Continuing activities will take place from July 28 to July 30 this year. Together, let us continue sustaining opportunities by nurturing growth of MSMEs. Sulong Takurong. And our business update, Apple Pay is getting even better with 4 new features. Apple Pay is a go-to feature for iPhone users when shopping in stores, online, and in apps. Apple has recently announced for new features to enhance Apple Pay. Here's how they work. One of the favorite changes in iOS 27 is the redesigned Apple Pay checkout interface. The new interface makes it much easier to switch between different cards during the checkout flow on websites and in apps. In the new design, you can easily swipe between cards on the main Apple Pay checkout screen. You can also tap on a card to view and a grid of all your available Apple Pay cards. The design also makes it easier to see information about individual cards, including rewards, balances, pay later options, and more. iOS 27 is available in beta to developers and public beta users. It will be released to everyone this fall. As Apple Pay continues to increase in popularity and prevalence among retailers, it's great to see Apple continue to improve the experience. Personally, Apple Pay is the checkout payment method of choice basically everywhere in shop, whether that's online or in store. And before we end, the province of Cagayan to become the Philippines' first space port. The province of Cagayan is set to host the country's first ever space port. This was officially announced by the President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. during his fifth State of the Nation address, or SONA. According to the President, Cagayan's strategic location makes it the ideal site for the project known as PAX Silica. As part of the initiative, a surrounding rocket launch test is scheduled for next year, 2037, in partnership with an aerospace company from South Korea. The project is expected to boost the Philippines' economic growth and technological development. In Luzon, the factory in Pampanga raided. Illegal melting of Philippine coins discovered. The four individuals were arrested after authorities raided a factory in Magalang, Pampanga over its alleged illegal operations. During the inspection, authorities discovered the suspected illegal melting of Philippine peso coins and the presence of radioactive materials inside the facility. A total of 347 Filipino workers and 37 Chinese nationals were also rescued from the operation. Authorities are continuing their investigation into the source of the melted coins and the company's possible violations of labor standards, workplace safety regulations, and environmental laws. In Visayas, the truck helper dies after being run over by cement mixer. A 53-year-old truck helper died after being struck and run over by a cement mixer in Barangay Cambigo in Sambuan, Cebu on July 28. The victim was identified as Raymond Alberca Lantixe, a resident of Sitio Dabdab in Barangay Bogo in Argao. The driver of the Sinotruk transit mixer, owned by Kirante Construction Corporation, was identified as Jeffrey Kadungog Pamulagan, 39 years old. According to the initial police investigation, the truck was transporting cement from Argao to Barangay Canyorong for a road concreting project. When it reached an uphill section of the road, the vehicle suddenly rolled backward due to an alleged mechanical failure. At the time of the incident, the truck helper was seated on the side ladder of the vehicle, lifting low-hanging power lines to allow the truck to pass. Although the victim managed to jump off, he was still struck and run over by the reversing truck. He was immediately rushed by ambulance to the Sambuan Rural Health Unit, but was declared dead on arrival by the attending physician. The driver was unharmed and is currently under the custody of the Sambuan Municipal Police Station. The police are continuing their investigation and are preparing to file possible charges of reckless imprudence resulting in homicide and damage to property. In Mindanao, the car collides with motorcycle, 3 dead. Three people were killed after a collision between a car and a motorcycle along Saire Highway in Purok 2B in Barangay Panagtalan in Maramang Bukidnon on Monday afternoon. The fatalities were identified only by their aliases: Bert, 33 years old, the motorcycle rider, and 3-year-old son who was riding as back rider, and Manny, an adult passenger of the Toyota Avanza. Meanwhile, another Avanza passenger, Lynn, an adult, sustained injuries. According to the police investigation, both vehicles were traveling in the same direction along the middle lane of the highway. The motorcycle was ahead, traveling from North Poblacion toward Panagtalan, while the Toyota Avanza was reportedly speeding from the municipality of Don Carlos toward Valencia City. Upon reaching the area, the motorcycle slowly turned to the right after activating its signal light. However, due to the Avanza's high speed, it struck the rear portion of the motorcycle. The impact threw the motorcycle rider and his child about 40 meters from the point of collision. The Avanza then crashed into a coconut tree, overturned, and slammed into the concrete barrier, trapping the driver and its two passengers inside the vehicle. The motorcycle rider, his child, and Avanza passenger, Manny, were declared dead on arrival by the attending physician. The passenger's Lynn remains confined in the hospital and is undergoing treatment. Following the incident, the Avanza driver fled the scene but later surrendered to the Don Carlos police station. He was subsequently turned over the Maramag Municipal Police Station, where he is now in police custody. In other news, the packaging and labeling seminar was conducted during the Sulong Tacorong 2026. The Department of Trade and Industry, or DTI Sultan Kudarat, through Negosyo Center Tacorong, in partnership with the local government of Tacorong City, conducted a packaging and labeling seminar on July 29 at the Tacorong City Sports and Cultural Gym as part of the activities for the 16th Sulong Tacorong Business Week 2026. The seminar gathered micro, small, and medium enterprises, or MSMEs, and aspiring entrepreneurs from Tacorong City and nearby areas to discuss key considerations in product packaging, labeling requirements, branding, and product presentation. Topics included the importance of compliant and informative labels, appropriate packaging materials, basic branding concepts, and strategies for presenting products for retail and wider market distribution. The activity aimed to provide participants with information relevant to improving product presentation and meeting applicable labeling standards. The seminar forms part of DTI's continuing efforts to support MSME's development through capability building activities that promote market readiness, product competitiveness, and entrepreneurial development. It also contributes to the objectives of Sulong Tacorong 2026, which carries the theme Navigating the Shift, Building Resilience, and Future-Ready MSMEs. Sulong Tacorong is an annual Business Week celebration that highlights programs and activities supporting local enterprises, entrepreneurship, and economic development in the city of Tacorong. And our business update: stocks down on profit-taking, peso up versus US dollar. The profit-taking again ruled the local bourses, trading on Tuesdays, resulting in the main index's negative close, but the Philippine peso managed to gain against the US dollar. The Philippine Stock Exchange Index, or PSEI, declined by 0.17% to 6,304.3 points, and the border all shares by 0.24% to 3,427.4 points. Most of the sectoral gauges, however, ended on a positive note. Mining and oil 0.50%, financials is 0.35%, services is 0.18%, and holding firms is 0.1%. The industrial and property, meanwhile, went down by 1.24% and 0.73% respectively. The volume reached 790.2 million shares, amounting to 6.67 billion pesos. Decliners led advancers at 89 to 78, while 68 shares were unchanged. On the other hand, the local currency finished the day at 61.61, up from its 61.67 finish on Monday. It opened the day at 61.70, better than the previous session's 61.76, and trades between 61.76 and 61.6. The day's average stood at 61.67. The volume rose to 1.16 billion US dollars from the previous session's 990.68 million US dollar. In Luzon, the strange light in the sky was spotted in Cuyo, Palawan. A strange light was spotted in the sky by residents of Cuyo in Palawan. Melin Lodalo Remo described the unusual light they witnessed on July 29 at around 6:30 p.m. as resembling fire. According to uploader Remo, it was an unexplainable fire or something else. It appeared in the direction of Silad Island in front of Sitio Piogong just before 6:30 p.m. In Visayas, dead chickens found scattered in river after allegedly being dumped by owner in Barangay Magapa in Haniway. Dead chickens were found scattered along the river in Barangay Magapa in Haniway, Iloilo, after they were allegedly dumped and abandoned by their owner. According to the uploader of the photos, the chickens were already in a state of decomposition, with some of them floating downstream. The uploader also pointed out that it would have been better if the owner had buried the dead chickens instead, as they have caused a foul odor in the area. In Mindanao, some classroom equipment was damaged by flooding. The severe damage was left behind by the sudden flooding at Leon A. Garcia Senior Elementary School in Bangkal, Davao City, after floodwaters rose as high as the school's second floor. As the floodwaters receded, thick mud and piles of debris were left inside the school premises. Numerous classroom equipment, chairs, and learning materials were also damaged. Among the school's most urgent needs are a steady water supply for cleanup, additional manpower for rehabilitation, cleaning supplies, and assistance in replacing damaged and lost school property, furniture, and learning materials. In the other news, the 4 strong earthquakes was shaken in Luzon and Mindanao in one night. The 4 strong earthquakes were recorded in Luzon and Mindanao on the evening of July 29 this year, with 2 tremors occurring in each region. Magnitudes 4.8 and 4.9 were recorded in Sarangani, while a magnitude 5.0 earthquake was struck in Humalig, Quezon, and a magnitude 5.5 earthquake was recorded in Baras, Catanduanes. According to PHIVOX, the 2 earthquakes in Sarangani are still part of the aftershock sequence of the magnitude 7.8 earthquake that struck in Mindanao on June 8. Meanwhile, for the earthquakes in Luzon, PHIVOX advised residents in the affected areas to remain alert and cautious due to the possibility of more aftershocks in the coming days. And our business update, opening a bank account is now easier for national ID holders. Opening a bank account is becoming increasingly straightforward for millions of Filipinos as banks connect their onboarding systems to the government's national ID database. The BPI, or the Bank of the Philippine Islands, customers who are already registered with the national ID system can now open a BPI account through the bank mobile app without photographing or uploading a physical identification card. Instead, the customers entering basic information and takes a live selfie, which is matched against the facial image and other details stored in the Philippine Identification System or PhilSys. As more banks connect to the national ID database, opening a bank account may soon be as easy as entering your name, birthday, and taking a live selfie. Philippine Statistics Authority Deputy National Statistician Rosalinda Bautista welcomed the partnership with BPI. PSA also had similar partnerships with a few other banks, but she hoped financial institutions would link to their system to make banking transactions easier and accessible to more Filipinos. The Information and Communications Technology Secretary Henry Aguda praised the partnership, saying this will help more Filipinos. He is aiming to expand this type of collaboration to other sectors. Philippine Statistics Authority has partnered with other institutions for the e-Verify platform like some schools, hospitals, and PhilHealth, among others. She hopes all industries will use the system. And before we end, coffee pairing competition highlights local food and coffee during Sulong Takurong 2026. The Department of Trade and Industry or DTI Sultan Kudarat through Negosyo Center in Takurong in partnership with the City Government of Takurong conducted a coffee pairing competition on July 29 at the Takurong City Sports and Cultural Center as part of the 16th Sulong Takurong Business Week 2026. A total of 4 competitors joined the competition, each presenting a unique pairing of Takurong City food products and coffee beverages that showcase locally inspired flavors and creative product combinations. The activities serve as a platform for local food entrepreneurs and coffee businesses to demonstrate how food and coffee can be developed into complementary offerings that promote Takurong City's growing food and coffee industry. They even form part of the Business Week's continuing efforts to support micro, small, and medium enterprises or MSMEs by providing opportunities for product promotion, market exposure, and industry engagement. It is also aimed to encourage innovation in food product development and value-adding activities within the local coffee and food sector. The coffee pairing competition was one of the feature activities under Sulong Takurong 2026, which carries the theme Navigating the Ship, Building Resilient and Future-Ready MSMEs. Sulong Takurong is an annual business week celebration that highlights programs and activities promoting entrepreneurship, local enterprise development, and economic growth in the city of Takurong. In Luzon, the OFW returns from Saudi Arabia in a coffin. Family expresses grief and frustration over the system. The family of an overseas Filipino worker or OFW, Princess Gali Abrera, has expressed their deep sorrow, anger, and frustration after her mother returned from a home from Saudi Arabia, not alive but in a coffin following 9 years of working abroad. According to an emotional post by her daughter, the family continues to endure immense pain because they have yet to receive any clear update or concrete action regarding the true cause of her mother's death. They believe that she was abused and killed while in Saudi Arabia, but they are still seeking answers and justice. In Visayas, the city of Mandaue was flooded again. This was the situation along the Lopez Haina Street in Barangay Tipolo in the city of Mandaue, the province of Cebu, at 11:43 a.m. on Friday. Floodwaters have already risen, but the road remains passable to all types of vehicles. However, motorists should expect slow-moving traffic. Drivers are advised to take alternative routes whenever possible. Meanwhile, MPUJ turns into a ferry boat amid flooding in the city of Mandaue. A modern public utility jeepney or MPUJ jokingly earned the nickname ferry boat after passing through floodwaters along a road in Barangay Tipolo in the city of Mandaue following heavy rains. In a Facebook post by netizens, Cherry and Atilio The MPUJ they were riding in became flooded inside. Despite getting soaked, the passengers could only laugh at the unexpected experience.
Ang mga tao wag ikay. Nay, di rin na ikaw.
In Mindanao, the broken bridge in Barangay New Dumangas being backfilled to allow motorcycles to pass. The local government unit or LGU Tiboli is conducting backfiling on the damaged section of the unfinished bridge in Barangay New Dumangas to create a temporary passage for motorcycles and shorten the travel distance for residents. According to Barangay New Dumangas Captain Dante Tidula, although a road rerouting has already been implemented, the alternative road remains long and difficult. Because of this, parents of students appealed for a closer and more convenient access road. He said that 8 barangays have been affected by the closure of the zigzag road, including 5 barangays in Tiboli and 3 barangays in Lake Cebu. Due to the longer road, some students now spend around 300 pesos per day on round-trip transportation, placing a significant financial burden on their families. In response, the Municipal Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Office or MDRMO and the Office of the Municipal Engineer agreed to carry out backfilling and sandbagging on the damaged portion of the unfinished bridge to establish a temporary motorcycle crossing. Captain Tidula also emphasized that motorists cannot use the former zigzag road because it remained unsafe. Based on the comprehensive hazard assessment report of the MDRMO Tiboli, the road is exposed to severe geological hazards, including recurring rockfalls, unstable slopes, steep terrain, and landslides. The MDRMO also recorded several incidents from January to July this year, including major landslides caused by heavy rainfall and slope failures following the magnitude 7.8 earthquake on June 8 this year. The agency also documented the death of a motorcycle rider after being struck by a falling rock in the area. In the other news, the initial aid delivered to fire victims in Matina, Gravahan. Initial assistance was immediately provided by the Office of the 1st Congressional District and the Office of the Mayor to families affected by the fire that broke out in Purok 3 in Santo Niño, Matina, Grabahan in Barangay 74A in Matina Crossing in the city of Davao. The victims received hot meals and meal packs. Those affected expressed their gratitude for the swift response to their immediate needs. The local government also continues its efforts to provide additional support and assistance to the affected families. And our business update, stocks. Peso slip as investors observe post-SONA developments. A wait-and-see stance on the developments following President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s 5th State of the Nation Address or SONA resulted in the negative close of both the local bourse main index and the currency on Thursday. The Philippine Stock Exchange Index shed 0.74% to 6,305.75 points, and the border all shares by 0.93% to 3,415.35 points. Half of the sectoral gauges gained during the day, mining and oil by 1.51%, financial by 0.24%, and property by 0.9%. On the other hand, industrial slipped 3.81%, holding firms increased by 0.68%, and services rose by 0.9%. The volume reached nearly 997.6 million shares, amounting 6.23 billion pesos. The decliners led advancers at 113 to 65, while 54 shares were unchanged. The Federal Open Market Committee, after its two-day meeting that ended on July 29, left the U.S. Central Bank's key interest rates between 3.5% and 3.75%, the fifth consecutive pause as inflation remains above the Fed's 2% target. With these developments, The Philippine peso weakened against the US dollar and finished the day at 61.56 from its 61.41 close on Wednesday. It opened the trade stronger at 61.41 from 61.65 the previous day and traded between 61.58 and 61.34, bringing the day's average to 61.43. The volume reached 1.37 billion US dollar, lower than the previous session's 1.62 billion US dollar. And before we end, Sulong Tacorong 2026 records 322 participants, conducts 7 seminars, and recognizes competition winners. The Department of Trade and Industry, or DTI, Sultan Kudarat through Negosyo Center Tacorong, in partnership with the local government of Tacorong City, conducted the 16th Sulong Tacorong Business Week 2026 from July 28 to July 30 this year at the Tacorong City Sports and Cultural Center and Negosyo Center Tacorong Training Room. Carrying the theme, Navigating the Shift, Building Resilience and Future-Ready MSMEs, the 3-day event brought together micro, small, and medium enterprises or MSMEs, aspiring entrepreneurs, students, youth participants, and partner institutions in a series of capability-building activities, business competitions, and market promotion initiatives. The immediate results: Sulong Tacorong 2026 recorded a total of 322 participants who attended the various seminars, orientations, forums, and competitions conducted during this celebration. A total of 7 seminars and forums were conducted, namely a packaging and labeling seminar, intellectual property rights orientation business model canvas creation seminar, digitalization for MSME seminar, business legitimacy seminar, the securing capital financial forum, the product costing and pricing seminar. These activities provided participants with information on product development, branding, intellectual property protection, business modeling, digital transformation, business registration and compliance, financing opportunities, and pricing strategies relevant to MSME development and entrepreneurial growth. Competition results. Coffee pairing competition. What's that? The coffee pairing competition is highlighted in Tacorong City food products paired with coffee beverages, showcasing locally inspired flavors and creative food and coffee combinations. The winners are champion John Kenneth Lin. First runner-up is Riley Arboleras, and second runner-up is Rick Edward Baronia. The latte art competition, with 9 competitors participated in the latte art competition, demonstrating skills in espresso preparation, milk steaming, pouring techniques, creativity, and overall presentation. The winners are champion Melanie P. Laab, first runner-up Jasper Heradura, and second runner-up Mark De Luisa. The business pitching competition is gathered senior high school students from Tacorong City who presented business concepts developed using the business model canvas, the framework. The winners are champion Angela S. Gomez and Francis P. Valdivieso. Congratulations. First runner-up, Kenneth Sayan P. Ofrecio and Rina Alyesia El Labid. Second runner-up is Kairunisa Taika C. Halal and Angeli G. Kambik. The competition featured presentations evaluated on business viability, innovation, market potential, financial considerations, and overall presentation. Tacorong Community Marketplace remains ongoing. In addition to the seminars and competitions, the Tacorong Community Marketplace continues to operate as part of the Business Week celebration until August 3 this year. The marketplace features a flea market of more than 50 local merchants, including 20 DTI, LGU, and other NGA-assisted MSMEs offering food products, beverages, apparel, accessories, home-based products, and other locally produced goods. The marketplace provides participating merchants with opportunities for product promotion, customer engagement, and market exposure during the Sulong Tacorong 2026 celebration. The continuing MSME development efforts, Sulong Tacorong is an annual Business Week initiative of DTI Sultan Kudarat through the Negosyo Center in Tacorong, conducted in partnership with the local government of Tacorong City and various public and private sector partners. The event forms part of DTI's continuing efforts to promote entrepreneurship, capability building, market access, business innovation, and local enterprise development in Tacorong City and the province of Sultan Kudarat. And that is Philippine Headlines this Friday, July 31, 2026. I'm Apolinario, 30 Decadisi Valencia, and this is Salakot Online Broadcasting Network. Your Philippines, amping kasadya.